Hey everyone, this is Señor Stationery and today's review is on the Parker Insignia Sterling Ciselé Ballpoint. Thank you, Mr. Legoman. You always have all the great stuff for us. So let's take a look. This is one of Parker's premium models. This pen, I believe, was introduced around 1991. As you can see, it has the famous popular Ciselé Sterling silver finish, which Parker has made popular since around the 1970s when they launched this type of design on the Parker 75, which is the full square gridlock pattern there, as you can see, all square finish and with some gold plated accents. This finish was first introduced in the Parker 75, and it has been so popular that Parker has kept introducing this type of finish to several of their premium line of pens, including the current Sonnet, this one in the early 90s, the Insignia, the 75, which lasted a long time, the Parker Classic, and I think if I'm not wrong, I think probably also on the dual fold. So basically on the higher end of their line of pens, they have introduced this finish, and it's interesting if we take a look on this pen, the inspiration as well as the times when they introduced it. It was introduced in the early 90s when Parker, well, wasn't really that wasn't on its best times. If for what I have researched, Parker was struggling since around the 1980s to stay afloat, as well as it was later taken over by the Gillette Group and other companies, to currently being owned by New Rubbermaid. So it has gone through its ups and downs, but this pen is still a very interesting style. It's nice, it's slim, it's a slim pen, not so slim as maybe like a Cross Century. I think this is a little bit or slightly more thicker in comparison, but it's nice, it's elegant. It has as you can see, the 23 karat gold plated accents here on the tip, the clip here on the middle band and on the upper part. Mine is a used model, so it has some wear on the gold accents, but the silver truly looks really beautiful. The clip is sturdy, still sturdy. Again, this is a slim pen. Let me get a Cross Century so you can compare. We can compare the thickness. Now here I have a Cross Century Sterling Silver, which will be its rival. So if you take a look, the Insignia is a bit more thicker, but the length of the pens are pretty much the same. So we can infer that Parker was thinking on going after Cross with this model. I like the fact that it's very cylindrical, very discreet and still elegant. I'm not that fond, but it still looks pretty cool, the long tip, the long golden tip. I always have liked this transition in the Cross Century, the smaller tip, and Parker, I've noticed that they tend to make larger end tips, but that's just my personal opinion. It doesn't really affect, so I'll put away this one. So going back to the Parker, this is a ballpoint. This line, the Insignia, was made usually as a set or individually sold as a pencil and pen, mechanical pencil and pen, and that's it. I believe there was no rollerball as far as I know. It uses a typical G2 Parker, and here we have a blue ink refill. We twist it, and with a secure twist, as you can see, we reveal the tip. It's safe, doesn't comes back, so you're pretty sure that whenever you write with it, the tip's not gonna get inside. It has a secure twist mechanism. What else can we say? Well, over here, I don't know if you can notice, here on the front it says France. I believe the Insignia was made both in France and in USA. So in this one, basically it says Parker. It has the 1997 change of logo of the P type font, or the logo. It says Parker Insignia, which is, this is cool because it's a name that could be easily forgotten, but they make sure that you don't forget it. Insignia, France, and the production code, which is, I believe, let me see, I think it's an I and a Roman numeral 2, something like that, if I can see well, because yeah, it's not very clearly printed, but I think it's an I and a Roman numeral 2. And here on the back, I don't know if you can notice here with the light, maybe not, it has the sterling silver hallmarks from Parker. Has a 925 and a PM, or sort of like a rhombi with a P, which is the Parker's sterling silver hallmark. So as I said, my pen is a little bit used. The Ciselé pattern, as you can notice, is all squared, but it has also black enamel throughout, but mine has been used, so some of the enamel has peeled off and you have just the pure sterling silver. So nonetheless, it's still a very nice pen. It doesn't feel weighty. Being a sterling silver pen, it doesn't feel heavy, but it has a nice comfortable heft to it. It's not weighty, but it has a nice comfortable heft for writing. So this is an interesting pen. Again, this is one of the most sought after finishes from Parker. The pen itself was produced in several lacquer and enamel finishes, but this was one of the highest end ones, the one made of sterling silver, and there's also the gold plated versions as well. The main difference between this one, the ballpoint, and the pencil, is that the pencil has a top button clicker for the pencil. So rather than being a pencil that you twist like other fancy pens, on the pencil you have a clicker to push out the lead, and only the ballpoint has the twist mechanism, as you can see. Even very silent, which is also an interesting attribute to this pen. That makes it more elegant, the fact that it doesn't make any noise when you twist it. Barely makes any noise. So it's a nice looking pen, a discreet, elegant, tasteful design, very timeless. I feel that this style, though it was introduced in 1991, it could still look pretty good now, but then nowadays, how can you make a pen brand stand on style? Sometimes you have to just go with safe design and make them contemporary. So that's what I like about this pen, because it has that whole late 80s, early 90s vibe to it. It looks kind of classic, but at the same time some touch of modernism. And in my personal opinion, I feel like it still looks pretty good for today. So let's give it a quick test to it. Here I have a blue ink refill, so let me just write a little bit with it. So this is the, let's take a look, this is the Parker Insignia. It was introduced in 1991, as far as I believe. So this is the ballpoint, made in France. Made in France. So there we go. Your typical Parker refill, blue medium point, writes pretty good. Again, this is the my refill is one of the UK made ones, the earlier ones. It's not one of the quick flow, which are a little bit more smoother, but nonetheless this is still very comfortable, a very reliable refill, works pretty good. And as if you're familiar with Parker pens, well, you'll know that they're very reliable. They're G2 refill, so you know it's a safe bet. And again, this is a really interesting pen. I was lucky to find it and get it in my hands, and I really wanted to make this review because I really like and appreciate Parker's fine finishes, especially with silver. And this is a really nice looking pen. Really, if you are a Parker enthusiast, I think maybe this is not one of their famous models or very sought after, but the finish itself is well worth having, and the pen itself is also very nice. It looks pretty good for an everyday pen, for a business pen, or just as a statement. It's slim, it's elegant, it's kind of represents the whole era of the slim pen being a power pen or a symbol of elegance. So will I recommend it? Yes. These pens are actually kind of expensive lately. That's what I've noticed. They usually go for close to $100 or even a bit more. So if you're lucky to find one in around that price or lower, then grab it, because it's a good find and a good price. But this model, the ballpoint only, could go even around to maybe $130 to $150 US dollars price. So again, it's not one of the most sought after models, but it's still a very cool pen, and I like it. I really like its thickness. I like how it feels when you write with it. I like, in this case, the Ciselé pattern gives a good grip to it, so you don't need any more grip. So it looks pretty good, as you can see. I really like the whole style to it. I don't know, I really like it. It's a discreet, understated style, but you can go wrong with it, really. So this is Insignia. I hope you like this review. Stay tuned for more stationery reviews coming soon. Don't forget to give thumbs up, or feel free to comment or share any opinions on the pen. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.